This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
On December the 12th, Anthony Joshua will of course be defending his unified world heavyweight titles, as in the Super WBA, Super WBO, IBF and IBO world heavyweight titles, against his IBF mandatory in Bulgarian Kubrat Pulev, with an undercard of Lawrence Okoli versus Krzysztof Glowacki. That would be for the WBO cruiserweight world title. You've got Hughie Fury versus Mariusz Wack. You've got Martin Bakole versus Sergey Kuzmin, and of course a couple of other fights to be announced in due course. Now, December the 12th, very close to Christmas, so, and again, not too far away now, when you're talking, what, 3 weeks away? So, with the price now being £24.95, it's a £5 increase to what pay-per-views are usually set at. Last time the pay-per-view was set at this particular price of £24.95. I'm going to stop saying that because it's much easier for me to say £25 for the sake of 5 pence. So £25 was Anthony Joshua when he went to Saudi Arabia and took on Andy Ruiz Jr. in the rematch. And I think a lot of people are okay with that kind of price. Not because it was abroad or anything like that, but it was more about, can Anthony Joshua, our Brit, can he regain the world heavyweight titles? Okay, which I think most of us were certainly hoping that he would, and thankfully he did. So people weren't too fussed by the price. Of course, some people will complain. It doesn't really matter how much it is. For me, I'm not one to be complaining about pay-per-view prices. If they put on a pay-per-view price of 50 quid, if I really want to watch it, then I'll pay for it. But I understand not everybody's in the same financial boat. Of course not. Some people, £25 is a lot of money. Some people, £5, £10 is a lot of money, especially coming through the certain climate that we find ourselves in due to the worldwide pandemic, which is a lot of people have lost their jobs, a lot of people have reduced hours, all that kind of stuff. Because bills ain't going down, but finances coming in certainly have been going down. So is it wrong for Sky Sports to bump up a pay-per-view price by £5? Now, another way of looking at it is that last time it was £25 when Joshua took on Ruiz in the rematch. Adam Smith, who is head of Sky Sports, Eddie Hearn, head of Matchroom Boxing, were asked a question: are Anthony Joshua fights, or pay-per-views in general, going to be this price of £25 going forward? And they answered no. Each pay-per-view price, each fight night, will be determined how much the pay-per-view is going to be. Okay, so the Logan Paul one against KSI, whatever it was, that rematch, that was it £10? I think it was, off the top of my head. The Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin first one was £19.95 or 20 quid. Derek Chisora versus Usyk, that was also 20 quid, etc., etc. Okay, so we can go, okay, then that was a once-off. But now Joshua, his very next fight is now £25. So clearly when they were asked that question, and Eddie Hearn and Adam Smith said, no, it won't be £25 going forward, but of course it will be dependent on the fight night. Okay, each fight night will be determined the price. Either they were lying, or they were telling the truth then, but actually now changed their minds. Either way, it's not a good look. Now, is it up to Eddie Hearn for the pay-per-view price? No, not at all. This is down to Adam Smith and of course his peers as well at Sky Sports. And ultimately, there's no point me moaning about the price, no point you guys moaning about the price, because they ain't going to change it and they ain't going to do anything about it. Okay? At the end of the day, if you're happy with it, you'll pay for it. If you're not happy with it, then you won't pay for it. But the fact is, what bothers me is the fact that originally they said no, but in fact it is going to be £25. Doesn't matter who Joshua fights, it's now going to be £25, okay? But with the global pandemic, with a recession hitting a lot of people, and it's probably only going to get worse. I mean, of course, I don't know. I don't follow the news and everything too much, but a lot of people are really affected financially. Sky Sports quite clearly don't give a rat's ass about your money, my money, anybody's money. It's a case for them, pay it. You want to watch it, pay it. We'll put whatever price that we want, we don't care. And it is annoying, for sure, especially when you see on BT Sport, you've got Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. It's not going to be pay-per-view. Of course, BT Sport, they are going to put on Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. That exhibition fight will be 20 quid, so £19.95 on BT Sport. But I find it distasteful. I think that Sky Sports should have at least, at a bare minimum, kept it at £19.95 because it's unfair, isn't it, with a lot of people who want to watch boxing, who want to watch Joshua, who want to watch any of the undercard fighters and that as well, shouldn't have to pay £25 in the climate that we currently find ourselves in. It's not right, it's not fair, and it's greed. That's the only way we could possibly put it. It's greed. Of course it is. But as I said before, if you're happy with it, if you can afford it, then you'll pay for it. If you don't, then either you won't watch it or you'll find other means of watching it. But this shows me that Sky Sports don't give a damn about the fans. They don't care about the fans at all. Not only have they not been giving us some of the fight nights that we would have liked, such as a Kell Brook and Terence Crawford, such as a Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez and everything, but they're giving us pay-per-view fights such as a Chisora versus Usyk without any form of title on the line whatsoever. And let's be honest, the undercard weren't that great. And they're giving us that on pay-per-view. Sky Sports are also giving us football on pay-per-view, and that as well, aren't they? So I hear. It's greed, isn't it? It's pure greed. £25, not a lot of money. I'm not complaining about the price. It's more the principle more than anything else. And it's not really for me, is it? For me, £25, I'll pay for it, no problem. But I understand a lot of people are not that way inclined. A lot of people don't want to have to pay anything. And in some ways, they're right. Why should we have to pay something? And Eddie Hearn and Adam Smith can say, but the fighters that want to get paid, what, the kind of money that you want to pay them, astronomical. Does Joshua, I mean, I don't want to say, does he need it? Hey, listen, he ain't going to turn it down, is he? But does he really need £30 million or however much it is that he's going to be getting for this fight? Is 20 million not enough? Is 10 million not enough? I don't know. But hey, at the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe he's got some kind of gambling problem. I have no idea. But it's a lot of money, isn't it? It's a lot of money. Why are you bumping it up to 25 quid? It's ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure IFL will probably ask Eddie Hearn about it and Sky Sports, Adam Smith about it, and they'll just defend it. Well, the current climate, you know, the boxers, they need to get paid, and the undercard, it ain't cheap, and there's no crowd, and blah, blah, blah. Well, boxers take a little bit less money, you know. I mean, it is what it is. They're trying to capitalise and don't care about the fans, in my honest opinion. Which is unfortunate, because obviously I like Sky Sports. I like the fact that they keep on putting boxing on my TV. But 25 quid, it's more the principle, more than anything else, isn't it? Bumping it up after you previously said, no, Joshua is not a guaranteed £25 every time he fights. It shouldn't be £25, should it? They should keep it at 20 quid, shouldn't they? Ideally, in this kind of climate, reduce it. But anyway, what can you do? Sky Sports, right? Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, catch you all on the next video.